every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
A very good evening to you and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our major stories tonight, governors of the northern state have vowed to join forces to defeat Boko Haram insurgents and poverty unleashed in that part of the country. Also in this program, Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong encourages youth in the state back to farming. Acting National Publicity Secretary of APC, Timmy Frank, has refuted the claims on replacement of APC governorship candidates in Kogi State. And from outside Nigeria, 2 people died and about 3,000 were left homeless when a fire destroyed 800 shacks at the Masipumelele informal settlement in Cape Town. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now the news in full. Governors of the northern state have vowed to join forces to defeat Boko Haram insurgents and poverty unleashed in that part of the country. The governors also pledged to deepen the relationship between the people of different sections of the region in order to foster greater unity among the people. Chairman of the Northern Governors Forum and Borno State Governor Alhaji Kashim Shettima made this known when he led 2 other governors of the forum to pay a condolence visit on Senator George Akume, who recently lost his elder brother and paramount ruler of Chaka, the late Chief Gabriel Akume. Governor Shettima reaffirms that the leaders of the North would not relent until peace is fully restored in the troubled spot of the North, just like the joint resolve to overcome poverty in North, which will continue to enjoy top priority. The governor, who sued for patience and understanding among the populace, said everything was being done by the government of the northern region to ensure sustainable economic growth in the area. The federal government restated its readiness to collaborate with ex-militants in the oil-rich Niger Delta region to ensure protection of lives and property in the region. The coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program for former Niger Delta militant, Brigadier General Paul Boros, said President Muhammad Buhari desires peace in the region, hence his administration is willing to engage relevant stakeholders to address all forms of illegality in the region. Represented by Major Marty Abdul, speaking as a special guest in a forum organized by Riverine Security Group of all ex-militants in the Niger Delta region, maintained that all hands must be on deck to ensure safety of waterways and communities in order to promote economic development in the region. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has urged the federal, state and local government to do more in the area of employment. The former president, who spoke at the 10th anniversary and 6th and 7th convocation ceremonies of Tai Solarin University of Education, Taswed Ijagun Ijebode, warned in a quote which says, "If there is no job for the unemployed to feed themselves and also to contribute to the development of the country, then we will all be sitting on gunpowder. It is disclosed that education is a meal ticket for anybody that has it, adding that it is also a means of breaking poverty circle. And due to lack of jobs for youths of Plateau State, the state government is now urging them to return to farming. Governor Lalong made the call when he flagged off this year's with farming season in Jos. The report.
For the past 9 years in Plateau State, there has not been fresh employment into the state civil service. The development has left thousands unemployed in the state. Governor Simeon Lalong encouraged youth to return to farming to making a meaningful livelihood instead of waiting endlessly for white-collar jobs.
Because this is a period that we want to move our youth back to agriculture. I had a meeting when they finished and everybody was saying the best wheat will be found in Jos. The chairman of flour mills, Mr. Comatros, ran to me and said, "You are the governor of Plateau." I said, "Yes." "Do we have capacity to produce what we are going to do?" I said, "Why are you asking?" He said, "They said that you are going to produce the best wheat. If you have capacity, I will establish an industry in your state."
He added that the state is partnering with Central Bank of Nigeria in providing credit facilities to intending farmers who will assist in providing employment and food security to the state and the nation in general.
Deliberate action to revamp the agricultural sector so as to provide employment, enhance income earning, and guarantee food security in our country. The central bank is setting aside 40 billion out of 220 billion micro, small, and medium enterprises fund for farmers at a single-digit interest rate. This fund, it is estimated, will allow 200,000 rice and wheat farmers to benefit from 150,000 to 250,000 loan for the procurement of necessary agricultural inputs.
Speakers at the flag-off ceremony are hopeful that the unemployed youth will keen to the opportunity of being their own boss by becoming productive farmers.
The All Progressives Congress running mate in the stalemated governorship election in Kogi, Abiodun Falike, is not disposed to the party's choice of Alhaji Yaya Bello, his replacement for the late Prince Abubakar Audu. Falike, in a second letter to the party's national chairman, Chief John Odigwe Oyegun, reacted to the APC's decision to pick Bello to replace Audu ahead of the supplementary election scheduled for the weekend. He insisted that he is not prepared to give up his mandate for any reason whatsoever. He said he is the rightful person to step into the late Audu's shoes and pleaded the application of the doctrine of necessity used in the crisis that trailed the demise of President Umaru Yar'Adua in 2010. The letter came on the day supporters of the late Audu took to the streets at Itobe in Ajaokuta local government area of the state protesting against Bello's choice. The protesters blocked the bridge across River Niger, which connects areas in Kogi Central, including Ayingba and Dekina. Contrary to the report in some quarters that the All Progressives Congress has settled for Yaya Bello as the replacement for its late candidate Abubakar Audu in the Kogi State governorship election, the party has refuted the claim, saying that it is not taking a position on the issue yet. The acting National Publicity Secretary of APC, Timi Frank, said that the party is yet to make any decision on Audu's replacement. Bello came second in the party's first primary election that eventually produced Audu as the former flag bearer of the party in the November 21 election. His name began to make rounds following the announcement of fresh primary election by the national chairman of the party, Chief John Oyegun. This was even as other interests which involved Audu's first son, Mohammed, and his running mate, James Falike, abound. We will be back with more stories right after this break. Stay with us.
This is what the people are saying. You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly. Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will strong for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to this recruit, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome. If you're just joining us on CoreTV Primetime News, here is a quick reminder of our top stories. Governors of the northern state have vowed to join forces to defeat Boko Haram insurgents and poverty unleashed in that part of the country. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong encourages youth in the state back to farming. Acting National Publicity Secretary of APC, Timmy Frank, has refuted ever claims on replacement of APC governorship candidate in Kogi State. For more news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, space and news. The sudden agitation for the sovereign state of Biafra by some segment of the country has been raising many questions from Nigerians, as some believe it is a right step in the right direction. Others are off the unity and diversity of Nigeria. CoreTV Emmanuel Ajayi has more in this report.
In his inaugural speech as he assigns portfolios to new ministers, the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, promised Nigerians that his administration will reduce the poverty level of the nation to tackle insurgency to enhance better safety of the citizenry.
We intend to pursue policies that will generate massive employment for millions of our youth. We shall also continue with greater determination and focus to pursue our goals of ensuring improved security for our country and its citizens, and without letting up on our fight against corruption. Our commitment to defeat Boko Haram and all the threats it constitutes remains as strong as ever.
Despite the promises made by the President, there has been more agitations for some Nigerians who believe that the deplorable state of the nation is one of the reasons they are calling for a sovereign state of Biafra.
All Nigeria's youth, we are suffering. The federal government of Nigeria failed us. We don't have our future. We don't have future. We every day by day in radio and television, we hear billions of dollars, and not in naira. Dollars. When you convert dollars to naira, billions of dollars to naira, it's trillions of naira, and yet all this money, where are they?
About the rally which is going on in the country, and this is what we want. We need that very freedom because we have seen that we are not a one Nigeria. And any country who have fight civil war, after 30 years, they are free to go on their own. And we are more than the 30 years now when we fight this civil war. Why can't they allow us to get our freedom?
Look at my age now. I still do salary work and collect 30,000 naira. They are using me like a cow. We don't want more Nigeria again. We want Nigeria to divide. I'm OPC. I'm one of their commandant for OPC. Yes, we support Biafra. Let them go. We are going to declare our republic.
6 months after, if there is no any change, anything can happen in this country. Because people are suffering. We cannot continue like this. These are the people that they are ruling out in 1979. They are the same people, set of people were there.
For these Nigerians, they believe that the call for a sovereign state will not solve the challenges bedeviling the nation.
Talking of Biafra now is not what matter. It's the problem of this country that matter, and the problem of this country concerns everybody. The way Igbo are feeling, they are feeling bad about this country. The same thing we are feeling. Even the northern people, the same thing they are feeling. Nigeria is not good. So if Biafra now say because Nigeria has problem now that they are going, but when Nigeria is in Mudu, they no go. When they give Nigeria to Azikwe as the first president of this country, they no go. When they give when Agui Rossi do all this and bring all that war that caused Biafra, it's not Nigeria problem. But the children of nowadays, they believe that Biafra fight is because of the problem of Nigeria that make Igbo people to fight.
Now between 67 and 70, Ojukwu ran away. Biafra does not pay. I believe in one Nigeria right from the days of Lord Lugard. So Nigeria should be one. Nigeria should not divide.
As the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari promises more dividends of democracy, it is expected that the security arm of government will leave no stone unturned in order to nip this in bud. Emmanuel Ajayi, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State reveals that governors of the Southeast geopolitical zone had taken a decision to discuss issues revolving around the recent agitation by the indigenous people of Biafra in the country. Governor Umahi made this known when he received the leadership of the Abakpa Main Market Traders Association at the government house in Abakaliki. According to Umahi, the Southeast governors had listened to the complaint and had decided to discuss issues with the president. It's over 550 days of the Chibok abduction. However, it is a mixed feeling in the street as some Nigerians are of the view that the Chibok girls do not exist, while others ask the present administration to work endlessly to gain in the freedom of the girls. CoreTV Emmanuel Ajayi has more.
We are asking for Nigerians to bring back our girls, so please, we are asking the president of Nigeria, Buhari, to please bring back our girls.
One night, over 200 girls were kidnapped by Boko Haram from the government secondary school in a town called Chibok, Borno State, Nigeria. Despite promises from the previous and present administration, all may not have been heard about the whereabouts of the girls. However, quite surprising on the streets, that these Nigerians are of the view that the Chibok girls do not even exist.
It's something I don't believe in, because I see it as a politics. So even still, I don't believe it. So that's my own point of view.
I don't think they are still there. If they are still there, somebody would have heard about them, but I don't think there's no news. What we are hearing now is that there are girls that are now wearing the bomb. So I don't think the girls are still there.
I think those people, they are still available, because if they are available, the present or the former administration would have done something to, rescue them.
But for these Nigerians, they are quite optimistic that the girls are still alive, calling on the present administration to work assiduously in regaining the freedom of the Chibok girls.
We have to be sympathetic. They need to find solution quickly, and it's not even an ordinary solution. It should be an accelerated solution, because we are all fathers and we know what it takes for such girls to be there.
I'll be happy if they come back alive, because I am a parent and I know what it is to lose a child. You understand? Government should try as much as they can to bring them back all alive.
I am hopeful that these people should be returned safely, but their return safely cannot be completed because we are aware that they are being splitted, and some of them I know are being married, and then to get all of them, the reality is not there.
I would say the federal government should work harder, and I'm sure they can be able to produce them. It just takes a matter of intelligence on how to use the right sources in getting that.
Will the Chibok girls be back? It is a big question, begging for answer. Emmanuel Ajayi, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Trafficking is not only reserved to children or minors. Even adult females have fallen and are still falling victims of human traffickers who come in guise of helpers. Statistics have shown that women fall easy prey for traffickers as a result of poverty and inexperience in detecting traffickers. Our correspondent takes a look at this issue.
In a bid to seek greener pastures, a number of young women have been deceived by friends, relatives and even parents to traveling abroad to become sex workers by compulsion. Speaking on the evil trend of human labor, Coordinated Nigerian Women Award says women trafficking starts from the home front when relatives maltreat their extended families and translates into advanced abuse. She, however, called on government to put an urgent stop to such practice.
The issue is you bring these young children to Lagos, you tell them you are coming to give them a greener pastures. Those that are school age, you not take them to school. Those that are meant to go learn their work, they won't be able to do that. You use them, you treat them. Those under age, that of your children's age, the same thing you are supposed to do to those ones. You overtreat them, you use them, you abuse them.
On the spot, a public affairs analyst says the rate of unemployment in the country is giving rise to child abuse and prostitution.
Well, women trafficking is a big problem that the government of Nigeria has been trying to handle for some time now, but it seems that they are unable to win the battle. Because of the unemployment in our country, I think some people have seen child and women trafficking as a means of making money, but that is evil as far as I'm concerned.
Others who spoke to CoreTV News harped on the need for parents to train their children to be contented and security conscious.
I think parents should allow anybody to take their kids away from them, maybe in the village or anywhere, because you don't trust anybody nowadays. Anybody might come to you with good intentions, but you can only see the outside, you can't see the inside. So I don't think parents should trust anybody with their kids, because when they get up here, when they come to the city, they end up being trafficked, they end up being molested, used for domestic violence and everything like that.
The ordinary gadgets themselves wouldn't mind even if they're trafficked. Why? Because they've sold it to them that this country isn't good. Other countries, there are things to be there.
A good mother that is well, that has something to take care of his children, will not allow his children to be, going through all that. Child trafficking and child labor and all that.
Traffickers prey on women's vulnerable circumstances and may lure them into crime networks through deceit and false promises of decent working conditions and fair pay abroad, and later held against their will, subjected to sexual assault, rape, battery and imprisonment in foreign countries.
Recreation parks are generally referred to as the home for leisure, sightseeing and tourism. However, many believe that this act of relaxation is often observed by Western countries. In this report, our correspondent Godwin Kemro feels the pulse of Nigerians and recreation parks in Nigeria and its benefits.
Recreation began from the early years of primitive societies, as archaeologists have uncovered artifacts and evidences of sports and games by early men used for this purpose. In AD 80, Emperor Titus built the largest scale of man and animal slaughter arena for leisure. In recent years, recreational centers have been improved and have become very important parts of the Western world. However, this aspect seems not to be as much developed in Africa, and especially in Nigeria.
In Kenya now, okay, I know of like 2 parks that I can just go around them. Probably after work in a day, I'm like, okay, I'm tired, and then that's good enough. But I think that we should have more of it, because there are some parks it's just like, oh, there is nothing happening in the park. The place is as not useless in quotes as it can ever be. And there are some parks that are accommodating, the environment is friendly, and you really love to sit down.
Some Nigerians are of the view that parks in the country are poorly maintained, while appealing to government to improve the state of these parks.
Something like a swimming pool, many things was be there, but even though do it normal, like Obodo Ibo, the thing will raise Nigeria money, more develop. So very neat.
Yeah, they are quite alright, very okay. The ventilation is good. They have trees around, so it's quite conducive.
Aside the benefit to individuals, recreational park is another source of revenue generation for the government.
The government know what to do with them because they have been doing it, and I know they will continue doing it too.
Well, I plan them to be maintained and take care of the place for public use.
I think that they should do more of it because it's a way of helping people relax. And it's a relaxed mind that would think of the next day at work. It's a relaxed mind that would be efficient when you want to work. So I think that they should build more of parks because it's a way of relaxing. Yes.
With the recent calls for diversification of the economy, there is need for government at all levels to take up recreational facility development as a source of revenue and promote tourism in the country.
The Nigerian music industry is reckoned with varieties from hip-hop, blues, gospel, Fuji, jazz, and many more. According to reports, in the year 2014, the entertainment industry contributed 5% to the Nigerian gross domestic product, thereby increasing the economic growth. However, questions have been raised to the content of music sung in the others versus the modern-day music. Our correspondent has details in this report.
Music is described as the universal language of mankind. Also, music helps reveal our inner emotion, making us happy. Music generally became formal in the early 60s with highlife music, juju, akpala, reggae, Fuji, waka, and hip-hop coming at the very end of the 20th century. Some of the elite in the music industry then were Fela Anikulapo Kuti, Paul Ikedairo, Ebenezer Obey, King Sunny Ade, Sikiru Ayinde Barrister, Aruno Ishala, Ayinla Omowura, Salawa Beni, amongst others. Hip-hop music was brought to Nigeria in the late 1980s and grew steadily popular throughout the first part of the 1990s. The general rapid growth of the entertainment scene with support from the media helped popularize hip-hop music in Nigeria with prominent musicians like Two-Face, Weird MC, P-Square, Tiwa Savage, Olamide, amongst others. Meanwhile, some Lagosians have expressed their opinion on the content of message being passed by the old and new genre of music.
I'll take the new school music. I love their music because as in the way they sing their music makes people give joy, as in unlike the other music.
I prefer the old school music because if you listen to the kind of music we have now, people just dance to the beating, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have meaning.
I love old school music. Why? Because it makes sense than this new music and everything. Because they usually make sense, especially people from like Nice. You have Nice. I like his song very well, especially his old songs because they make sense. They make sense, you know, and they are traditional songs that talks about Ibile, Ashawa. Yes, so that's why I like it most.
Old school music has more vibe and soul to it, and because it's classic, that's why I prefer it.
New music. Why do you like it? Because everything is green new now. You know, we are not living in the old world again, so everything is just being new.
Music will forever be the food of love to eradicate depression, isolation, and many emotional challenges.
We'll take another break and we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
be careful about what you say. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Welcome. And on the foreign scene, 2 people died and about 3,000 were left homeless when a fire destroyed 800 shacks at the Masipumelele informal settlement in Cape Town, Sunday officials said. Mayor Patricia DeLille said in a statement that disaster risk management and South African Red Cross Service arrived at the scene in time to coordinate relief efforts, including providing food, baby parks, mattresses and blankets. Recently, the settlement near Fish Hook on the southern peninsula was rocked by vigilante killings carried out by a resident who complained over lack of policing in the area. Shack fires are a perennial threat to the impoverished resident of sprawling informal settlements near major cities throughout South Africa. The body of a Russian pilot who died after his plane was shot down by Turkish jets has been delivered to Turkey over the Syrian border. Russian pilot Oleg Peskov ejected from the stricken aircraft on Tuesday and was killed by rebel ground fire as it parachuted into Syrian territory. Turkey says the Russian aircraft entered its airspace even though it was warned repeatedly not to. Russia says the pilot received no warning at all. Ankara says it had warned Moscow multiple times previously over airspace violations on its Syrian border. Turkey's Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu says that with different military forces operating in Syria with varying objectives, similar incident could happen unless information sharing and coordination were boosted. He also called for one united coalition to fight against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant ISIL. Police have fired tear gas and used pepper spray to disperse a group of anti-global warming activists who marched in Paris in defiance of a recent ban on public demonstrations a day before the start of a key UN summit on climate change in France's capital. The tough response by the riot police came on Sunday after a group of mostly masked protesters took to the street to call on world leaders to take action towards curbing man-made emissions. Earlier in the day, in a bid to circumvent security measures implemented after the November 13 attacks claimed by the ISIL that took 130 lives, thousands of shoes were placed in the city's sprawling central plaza to represent citizens urging a climate change agreement. Organizers of the display said that the Vatican donated a pair of shoes bearing the name of Pope Francis. Hundreds of people also formed human chains in the late morning, interlinking arms and hands along the sidewalks between the central place, de la République, and the Bataclan Concert Hall, where nearly 100 people were killed in one of the attacks. At least 40 people have been killed and scores wounded on Sunday in a suspected Russian airstrike on a crowded marketplace in Idlib province. The early morning attack occurred in town of Aria, 15 kilometers south of Idlib city, an area controlled by rebel groups including the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front. Local news channel Aria Alum reported close the bombs were used in the raid by a Russian fighter jet. The pro-opposition Orient TV reported an initial veto of 40 by director of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, Rami Abdur Rahman, put the death toll much higher, saying at least 60 people were killed and wounded in the attack. Officials at the Russian Defense Ministry could not immediately be reached for comment. The Russian Air Force has coordinated airstrikes in support of President Bashar al-Assad since September 30. And in the world of sport, head coach of the under-23 team, Samson Siasia, says the selection of Chile under-17 highest goal scorer, Victor Osimhen, in the Dream Team is not on sentiment but on merit. Speaking at the official press conference organized by CAF and member, Coach Siasia stressed that Osimhen earned his place because he showed maturity in training and his success in Chile. He stated that he was drafted on the team to show the world that what he did in Chile is no fluke. On the chances of the Dream Team picking one of the tickets to Rio Olympics, Siasia stated that the team's target to play 5 matches in Senegal is achievable. Just before we go tonight, here is a quick reminder of our top stories. We told you earlier that governors of the northern state have vowed to join forces to defeat Boko Haram insurgents and poverty unleashed in that part of the country. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong encourages youth in the state back to farming. And finally, Acting National Publicity Secretary of APC, Timmy Frank, has refuted the claims on replacement of APC governorship candidates in Kogi State. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. My name is Omotayo Alo. Have a good night rest.